Kaya's being too tall today. I think I can change that a little bit. There you go. Now you fit. Kaya's like, go live, hurry up, move, get going. I'm like, oh, okay.
We're a little late.
Okay, but we're here.
Just seeing all the last minute messages with all of your secret words.
Lots of last minute entries.
Thank you, everyone.
And we're going to do the draw in a little bit, but first of all, we're going to do the class. We're doing class first.
Yeah, let's do the class first. I have all the little names on little bits of paper ready to pick out.
Yep. That's very exciting. Oh, I do want to say something right at the beginning to everyone who's on replay. Or maybe I'll say it at the end because there's like only a couple of people here. I'll say it later. Okay. I have an exciting announcement, but I want you to hear it. Oh, I've got a confession. I just feel like making. I'm in my pajamas still. Yep. It's Easter Sunday here, and I just rolled out of bed. I put on some earrings. I got in the car, and I came over here in my pajamas. Luckily, I live just a couple minutes away. So, yeah, we're live today in my pajamas.
Yeah, and it's my son's birthday today, so I've spent the morning just hanging out with him. He was born on Easter Sunday, and this is the first time his birthday's on Easter Sunday again.
Really? 11 years later?
I know, and he's like, and it's the first time, it's the only time I'll be like two numbers, like 11, 11, and probably the only time I'll have that on Easter Sunday on my birthday. He was like, whoa!
So many unique experiences. And 11, master number.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I've been hanging out with him.
All morning.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's 11. Yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the class today. This is the fourth and final class in the Speak Your Truth series for mothers. We're going to give it to anyone, really, but specifically we talked about communication strategies for mums. You can use it in your relationships with anyone, especially your partner. Find it helpful.
Yes.
We had a big partnership call last night with our Womb Space girls, and it was a good call, wasn't it?
We often find that just like, you know, how we say your relationship with yourself is so important, it's paramount, it affects all the other ones, but same with your relationship with a partner. Yeah. It's paramount, it affects all the others as well. Yeah.
It's energy, goes everywhere. Okay, so let's not get sidetracked. Okay, so today's class, so we started from the inner, we've worked through to some ways that you can speak your truth when you're upset, etc., and you want them to hear and understand you, and you want to create connection. I don't think we should recap because we have so much teaching in today's, well, I don't know, what do you think? But we have a lot of teaching.
Yeah. You can watch the other videos.
Them on the timeline.
They won't go away.
They won't go away. And they build. So this is we really designed this to be a progressive, ongoing journey. And so all the women who have followed, and there's lots who have done all the secret words.
Yeah, thank you for it's fun too. Yeah. Maybe we need to have more little
fun
games.
Yeah,
Keep the
I'm into
interaction
games.
going.
Yeah. This series was designed to build, so you get to practice one thing and then add the next thing and then add the next thing and then add the next thing. So this is the last level that we're adding today. It was interesting because some women reached out and asked us about this. Yeah. And we're like, oh, that's...
Ellie, your question was so perfect.
It's coming. It's here today. And hello to everyone joining this morning. Okay.
Yeah, and also we actually will be in some ways bringing back and touching on the things that we brought into the other videos just because they're so integral, they're so foundational.
You're falling off the side again. Okay, so the first thing, we want you to understand the difference. When we teach conscious communication, we teach it in 4 spheres, and you can move between the spheres in one conversation and be pretty fluid about that, but you want to always know what sphere you're in because your intentions are a little different depending on where you're going. And the 4 spheres that we teach are speaking your truth, and we focused a lot here in this series, holding space, mediating conflict between your loved ones, and giving feedback. So today we're doing a lot in the giving feedback, which is a specialized sphere, a little bit separate to speaking your truth, which is why we separated it out when we taught it. And you want to understand when you're in each of the spheres. And predominantly, if someone is really triggered and not feeling calm, be it yourself or the child, feedback is not your first sphere to go to. There are really no teachable moments inside conflict, and you need to create connection and safety before you can really start to direct what's that saying? Connect before you direct. But like before you start to want to create change, you need to re-establish the connection. So if you're really emotionally triggered and like, ah, do not try to do the feedback piece that we're teaching today. Go to speak your truth and look at yesterday's video, because we did heaps of strategies in that.
And same if you think you're not and you're kind of in a calm place, but then you kind of spiral back into getting triggered, then come back. Speak your truth.
Change, switch tracks.
And that's also come back to, what am I feeling? What am I needing? Which was the first video.
Yeah. And if your child is really triggered, like melting down and losing it, feedback is not your go-to here. It just is not going to land. And we would recommend holding space, which we didn't cover in this series.
Which we can do another
do
video or series on.
We'll do in sisterhood. We'll do in motherizing sisterhood.
Yes, totally.
Yes, and you know, we've got lots of our new sisters watching this series and commenting and loving.
Actually, a lot of the women who joined into our competition are already in motherizing.
Just double joining. Okay, so that's the first point. Make sure you know which sphere you're in. Any other main, before we get into the big teaching points, we wrote notes today because we took a lot of this out of our book.
Yeah,
one of our books. I don't even know where it is.
I had it.
I know. One of our books. Conscious
the
Communication.
Conscious Mama's Communication Kit. And I had it. Oh, it's under the computer.
Oh, yeah. So we did take a lot of notes this morning out of this, because this is where we wanted to go with you. So I am kind of holding notes. And we don't often teach from notes anymore, but in an effort to be concise, we thought we'd go for it. Okay, so parenting does actually have a teaching component, and you do actually at times want to create change, specific change in another person. You want them to start cleaning up after themselves, or you want them to...
Well, it's also if it feels like you've kind of gone through the speaking your truth and gone through holding space, and the patterns are still happening, and you've tuned into what your part is in it, and you really want to get a particular message across to them, and it feels like it's something more than just, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm needing, this is a request I have. Like, it feels like you're kind of going around in circles with that. Then sometimes there's some other things.
So a lot of the time you can get your needs met and create change from speaking from the I. Yesterday's video. A lot of the time you don't even have to extend into the giving feedback, but we wanted to, because it's often a question we get asked, we need to go there. Okay, so...
And because of that, so much of feedback can actually just be, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm needing, and here's a really clear request.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be enough.
That could be enough. And all of that was in yesterday's video, so go check it out if that's where you want to focus. Okay, so this is always an inner and outer dance, meaning you always need to be, even as you're outwardly speaking and interacting, you need to have moments where you come back and tune in. What am I feeling? What am I needing? What am I feeling? What am I needing? That's the first video. But know that this is a dance between coming out and talking and then coming in and finding out what's going on for you. Good morning.
Hi, Isla.
Oh, didn't get a notification. Oh, sorry about that, honey. Facebook mysteries. But you're here and you haven't missed that much, so it's all good.
And we haven't announced the winners yet.
That's coming. So inner and outer dance. And let's give the bonus way to give feedback. We teach several methods, and we're only going to show you one today to keep it implementable. But we want to do a bonus one, and this bonus one is actually crazy powerful.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So sometimes when we're desperately wanting to create change, and when there's stuff going on, we can get a bit trapped in that whole kind of what's wrong, and also I need them to get what's wrong, and I need them to know where, like, point out where it's not working, because that's how they'll create change. Like, we have a bit of a mentality in our society of we create change by pointing out what's wrong.
We focus on what's not working in an effort to fix it, on so many areas to ourselves.
Oh yeah, we do it probably
Everywhere.
Mostly with ourselves.
We do it, or we also do that to our children. Yeah.
So this is about focusing on appreciation. This is like a whole side aspect of giving feedback is this is not necessary. Like sometimes you have to bring in
What's
things
not
that
working.
aren't working, but practice focusing more on what is working. Practice focusing on where you're appreciating them, on how they're serving the family, on how they're contributing to you, and practice saying that to your children a lot more. And another reason why that often doesn't get focused on in the kind of conscious parenting, gentle parenting, attachment parenting kind of world is awareness of praise, which is valid and important. Like
praise with an intent to control and
yes,
manipulate.
Exactly, which is completely different to this. It's not about, oh, you're such a good girl and look at the great grades you got. It's more about, you contribute to my life, you add richness to my life, and I want to let you know that. Here's the feelings it brings up for me, here's the needs that it meets. And letting your child know that often is a massive way to create change, and it's a huge way to provide feedback, because it's actually way more influential, because what we focus on grows.
Yeah. And you can practice that even in a dynamic that you're frustrated about, because might be something, there's probably something in there that you could appreciate, and that starts to open huge doors. And especially if you're coming from that place of this is how this moved me, this is how it met my needs, these were the needs that you just totally met for me, this is how I'm so grateful. Like sincere and authentic, not with the intent to control, with the intent to share how awesome that was for you.
And also, this is how you contributed to our family. This is how you contributed to this other person.
Yeah. Okay, and that actually, the kids can so easily hear that, receive, or anyone can, but your kids in this context can hear that, receive that, take that on. I remember the first time I did that in something really small. It was many years ago now. My daughter, somehow she made me a cup of tea or something. I can't remember. It was like one of the first times she's ever made me a cup of tea. And I was so moved, and I shared how much that moved me and how that met my needs. And I was so grateful and thankful. And like for about the next week or two, endless cups of tea being made in my house. So it is really motivating a way to create change and to give feedback. And that's our bonus one.
Yes. I just wanted to say I had this little post-it next to my toilet for ages. It was, how does it go again? It's love your child, or love someone how you I can't remember it. That wasn't a very good love someone in the fullness of who they are, how you fully want to see them and watch them
blossom, expand,
watch them become that, watch them be that, like how you see them, how we see someone, how we hold them actually helps to create them.
Absolutely.
Especially our children.
Kaya's got a cool toilet. She always changes up her little affirmational messages when you're sitting there. It's like, oh, look, new ones today. It's very fun.
And all over my room. Yes.
Yeah, everywhere.
So, also, there's a whole other aspect to feedback.
Well, let's do the love sandwich. This is the method that we were going to teach you today about giving feedback. So that was the bonus one, and we so invite you to really lean into that one because it's really powerful. And hello to everyone who's joining. I can see people, but I can't see names. Otherwise, I'd say hi.
You can see Isla.
Say hello. Let us know. Come and let us know you're here. Okay, so the bonus one was the appreciation. Let's teach the love sandwich one now.
Yeah.
So the love sandwich is one of the methods we teach for giving feedback when you're really wanting to create change. For those of you just joining, there is a distinction between speaking your truth when you're triggered and you just need to be heard. And
hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. So glad you're here because you're in the draw that we're going to draw soon. There's a difference between I'm triggered, I need to feel heard, and I need to be understood and heard, and I want to create change. Specific change here, and that does not happen when you're triggered or the other person is triggered. That has to happen when you're in a fairly connected space to start. Okay, so just prefacing that before we go into this love sandwich.
Yeah. Hey, Isla's baby. Okay, so the love sandwich is, you've possibly heard something like this before, and it's not. This is not. Hello, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
This is not. None of this is with an intent to control. The love sandwich is like, sometimes when I've heard things like that, it's like, oh, you're just saying something nice in order to say something not nice in the middle. But it's more that you actually want to bring in balance, and you want them to be received, and you want to, like we just shared about appreciation, you actually want to bring some of that in.
Yeah, the whole process creates positive change, not just the middle step where you give the requests and the things that you want to see different. Okay.
Yeah. So the first bit is to actually first tune in this situation, because everything is always multidimensional. In this situation, what can you actually appreciate about them? How are they serving the situation? How are they showing up in ways that you want to celebrate? So share that first.
Even if it is tiny.
Even if it's, I'm so grateful you're willing to have this conversation with me. And we did mention that you have this conversation when you're not triggered as well.
Many times.
And you've given them permission. They've like said, yes, I'm on board with this conversation. And then the next bit is to actually share the feedback, like share a request. What did we write down?
Right, share a request or a suggestion.
Yeah, so and that's such a small little bit.
Keep it to one. Don't bring in the kitchen sink here in your requests. So start with sincerely what you're appreciating in the dynamic that they are doing, no matter how small it is, and be authentic and sincere. This is not manipulative. This is giving them positive feedback on where they are succeeding in whatever you're trying to create or change. Then make a request or a suggestion. Keep it simple to one, especially the younger the child. Simple, simple, simple.
And really check that it's received once you've done that. Yeah, absolutely. And then
how would they do that?
Well, just like, how does that feel for you to hear? Like, what comes up for you? And
what do you think?
I want to know. Like, your needs matter to me. And if it feels like it's hard for them to receive, then building a bridge is helpful as well, by either sharing ways that you have also struggled with a similar thing. Like, if, for example, Lisa asked, because something that's been going on with me and my daughter is my daughter is wonderful at making really, 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 really messy rooms, and
she's a very creative person. I get it.
Lisa's a bit more like her. I'm a bit more like to make things neat and clean, and I've talked so much about just 5 minutes of room cleaning a day, and she's said, yeah, I want to do it, but then she just hasn't. She just doesn't. Well, actually, a few days ago she did, and she's been keeping it clean, but for a long time she just was not doing it. And
you were getting a bit frustrated about it.
Yes. And so the ways to build the bridge, one is to share where you also struggle with that. And when Lisa asked me that this morning, I found it really hard to relate. I was like, I do keep myself clean. It's her, it's not me. I do keep rooms clean. But then another one is also share how you're contributing to this dynamic.
That's a really powerful one.
Yeah, because it was a dynamic that was also triggering me. Like, how am I contributing to this dynamic between us, where I'm really strongly wanting to give her feedback? And I totally was often in really short and not very present ways, just kind of telling her, you just got to do it. And I wasn't actually connecting with her before I was asking her to clean her room. So bringing that up to her, that actually, I want to help you with this, and I want to help you in a way that doesn't feel really brash and just like I'm pushing you. That's bringing myself in. I'm in this too. It's not just you. I'm not just telling you how to do something and get on with it.
Yeah. In fact, when I make requests of my children, that might, especially ones that might feel a little big to them, I often ask, how can I support you with this? How can I support you to meet this request for me? So that's also really
that's
powerful.
the third one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Do we say all that? And then we're up to the third step, are we?
Yeah. So the third one in the love sandwich. So that's the middle bit.
Appreciation for something authentic and real. Make a request or a suggestion, and in that there's a little bit of dialogue around making sure they receive it, how they feel about it, how you could support, a little bit of conversation in there, and then
share your appreciation of them in this conversation, in this interaction, in this connection. Like, what about this connection and about how they showed up in it really touches you? What can you celebrate in it? And let them know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really grateful you sat through this conversation. I'm grateful you heard me. I'm grateful you received me.
I love the suggestions that you made for how we could work together on it. It was awesome.
Yes.
I feel really confident that we can do this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the next thing that we wanted to talk about today. We mentioned yesterday that no is not not the end, and no is not something to be scared of when you're speaking your truth.
No doesn't mean
oh damn, didn't work. No is just the beginning of collaborative problem solving. No's the beginning of you wanting to understand what they're saying yes to. No's the beginning of understanding what needs are under there, because they've, just as you've got all these feelings and all these needs, so do they, and just as yours are valid, so are theirs.
Yeah. Where is the yes under the no? Because when your child is saying no to your request, they're saying yes to their need, something that they want and need. What's their yes? Where is their yes? This is a really important, it opens doors to start a more collaborative process. And so we're going to teach you some collaborative problem solving skills now.
And the beautiful thing about needs is needs are underneath all the strategies. Needs are like there's a need for respect, there's a need for connection, there's a need for play, there's a need for fun. All those needs have like literally millions of strategies to meet them.
Yeah. Come down to the needs is so powerful and so freeing in the creative solution process. So when you start to hear, no, I'm not willing to clean my room or whatever it is, you need to start looking for the collaboration here. What are they saying yes to? Where actually are their objections? Because it might not be, could be anything. It might not be not now, or why does it feel too big? What is the yes underneath for them? And you do that, well, by asking, but there is. Remember in the first video we focused on what am I feeling and what am I needing, and how you need to have clarity on what's going on for you before you can really communicate congruently, so that your words are landing. Well, at this point in the process, the question becomes, what might they be feeling? What might they be needing? And depending on their level of verbal communication, obviously, there's a conversation there to have.
And they might be feeling and needing many things just like you are. Like, there might actually be, like, I want to help you. That might be a need for them. Like, I want to support you.
I want you to be happy in this.
Yeah, and I also really want this. I also really just want to hang out and relax. Or
like us, they have their parts.
Yes.
That want lots of different things.
So bringing them all in is powerful. So having a bit of space and time to tune in to what are each of your needs and what are each of you feeling, and getting to the point where we already talked about in the other videos, but where you really feel heard and received by them, but when they already feel heard and received by you as well.
Yeah.
So that everybody is aware of all of it.
Yeah. So start talking about what the no doesn't mean no. It means it's a yes to something else. Time to find out what that is. Be collaborative. Start by making sure everyone in the dynamic feels heard. And if you've got sometimes, remember when we started creating these processes years ago, we had all our kids involved. So we had like 4 kids, 2 adults. It was like a lot of people needed to be heard. But sometimes that's what needs to happen, and it does get quicker over time because the kids get used to it. But everyone's needs need to be on the table.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about that is sometimes that's the end. Sometimes people feeling, that was always fascinating. It's like the children feel so hurt, and then they're like, oh, I don't have an issue anymore, and off they go and play. And
I know, Kate would be sitting here going,
oh. We're beginning to like work stuff out. They're like, oh, I'm over that. Because they feel so heard.
Yeah. So, in your collaborative problem solving, everyone needs to feel heard. All needs need to come to the table. And as you brainstorm from that, so you've done that bit, everyone's feeling heard, everyone is clear on what each other's needs are and wants. And wants are valid. Okay? A want is just as valid as a need. Sometimes those wants are really powerful and open a lot of really awesome doors to solutions. Then you want to brainstorm solutions that meet everyone's needs. And this is like a game. Yeah, this can be really fun game. And sometimes the ideas the kids come up with are hilarious.
Yeah, I quite like being a scribe in that situation. So I'm going to write down absolutely every idea. And it depends. It doesn't matter if it's just you and one other child, or if it's many people, or you and a partner. It doesn't matter how many people. It can be just 2, it can be more. But let's come up with every single possible solution that we can think
that meets all those needs.
And let's get them all down. So I write them down as a scribe. Like sometimes it can be anything. We all go move overseas. Like,
yeah, it could be a crazy idea, and in brainstorming, everything is valid.
And even it can also be, because in this process, in this part of the process, you're just getting it all down. So it could also be, I don't know, like the child could say, I go off on an adventure by myself. Something that they obviously couldn't do, and you obviously wouldn't let them do, but let them have.
In the brainstorming, let the idea be written down and be valid.
Yes. And when they're all exhausted, that's when you can start kind of filtering through them and melding them together.
Which is the next point.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the last point here is now look over that list together as a group. And this is still in a really fun space. If you can make it fun, make it fun. And look for the ways which of those ideas can meld together. Which ones can you tweak a little bit so that they work a bit better for meeting a few more of those needs altogether? Which ones can everyone, after you've done all that, which ones are those solutions everyone is willing to fully say yes to?
And even if there's a couple where it's like, oh, I can kind of say yes to that, that's when you slightly tweak them again.
Yeah. Okay, what would be a slightly bigger yes for you if we could just tweak it a little bit? Yeah. That is the basic framework for your collaborative problem solving in the family. Did we miss anything?
Don't think so.
Nope, don't think so. We threw a lot of teaching in here today because it's a hot topic and lots of people want some really concrete strategies. There was lots in there. There was, I don't even know. We talked more than our notes, so we probably gave lots. So, we don't have a secret word today. If you've got questions on that teaching, now's the time, and we'll do this draw and we'll talk to you. We've got a super cool live party. Ooh.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about the live party. If you've got questions, now's a great time. Hello to everyone joining. You're sort of towards the end of the teaching piece, so watch it in the replay because there's tons of teaching today. And we're going to do the draw now in a second for our secret word game. And we have coming on Tuesday. So if you're already one of our Motherizing sisters in Motherizing Sisterhood, and there's probably lots of you on here, hold this time and date.
And we'll post about it.
We'll post it in the group. You'll hear about us from us today. Yeah. Tuesday.
Yeah, and sorry, I said Monday. I said tomorrow in the email, which was wrong. Ignore that.
Okay, I was confused about the days a little bit. Tuesday, 4 p.m., 4 to 5. There is going to be a live party in my lounge room.
Yeah, and my daughter has already said my son was a little bit more hesitant, so we won't.
My kids are up for it.
Oh, cool. Well, he probably will be then. He just said, I'm shy on video.
Shy.
But my daughter
All the
said
kids
she'll
are coming.
come and say hi.
They'll all come say hello. You can
maybe interview us or have us interview them.
Yeah, we're going to do fun games, interactive games with you guys, with prizes, and we're going to do some worksheets from the Heart Book and give you those and do these exercises together with you. We're going to do them too, so you get to hear what our little in the moment self-care lists are and stuff like that.
And we actually have quite a few really special prizes.
We do.
Yeah.
So that, come out and join that live. That's our big woohoo, we're done on launching Mother Rising. That's our party.
Closing that night.
It's closing that night. Yeah, that's your final chance. But it's going to be a big party. It's going to be lots of fun, prizes, games, heaps of cool little exercises that are coming out of our books that you can do live with us on the party. It's going to be awesome. Come and join us. Why are we getting dark all of a sudden? No, we're not. Okay, I'm just having my eyes checked.
Okay.
Let's do the draw.
Yes, let's do it. So I've got all the names.
Yeah, you do. You shuffle the names. The draw is for a 3-month scholarship in Mother Rising. That's a whole trimester, which is the way that we're often teaching these journeys. This was an example of a mini journey that we did with you. So you get a little bit of feel for how we're going to build the journey from inner to outer.
If you win one of, we're going to pick 3 names. If you win one and you're already in Mother Rising, then next month and the 3 months, the 2 months after that, we'll give you a refund, or we'll work that out.
You'll still get your 3 months free. We'll work it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Draw away. I don't know if anyone can. Jamie Malik.
Is that how you say your name?
Jamie, you're in. That's exciting because I don't think Jamie is a sister yet. She is now. Yahoo! Woohoo!
Yay!
We'll message you.
Isla!
Aww. She's a sister. Last one.
Oh, Ellie. Ellie was actually the first sister to join. So
That's
Ellie,
so beautiful.
that's beautiful.
That's special.
So actually 2 women that we picked out are already in Mother Rising. So we will absolutely send you.
There are a lot of Mother Rising sisters in this series messaging us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is not the end. So if you're not a Mother Rising sister,
you're so welcome, Jamie and Isla.
Woo, beautiful. If you're not a Mother Rising sister and you're like, oh, I missed out, come to the party Tuesday. There are going to be more prizes. And we haven't even decided what the prizes are. We've got all sorts of products and programs and coaching conversations, all sorts of stuff we can give away. But I'm pretty sure Mother Rising will be somewhere in there.
Absolutely.
As our last hoo-yah, as the doors close. And then the sisterhood's already getting so juicy and beautiful. I can see you all here. But it's going to get even more amazing as we ramp up and move into the first trimester.
Yes, start the workshops.
It's coming to all of us lovely sisters. We're ready. The first one is, I want to say the 29th of April.
Yeah, it is the 29th.
29th of April is that.
And we also have some other little surprise lives inside the group before then.
Oh yeah, we're planning so much love ups. You guys are going to be so loved. Woohoo! Okay. So I think that's it. I don't know. Unless you've got questions about anything in the series that you want to talk about, we're totally open. If you've got questions about the party, bring your favourite drink to the party. I don't know, it's a little early for wine, but at 4 p.m. I think we could have a wine. We'll probably have something like that. The kids won't. We'll give them some cider.
Yeah. I told Spiral we'd get some sparkling
cider.
Apple juice. She was actually great. She helped. I'm going to share the bit of paper. She helped us come up with the name Live Party, and she had put all these words on a bit of paper to brainstorm it.
Yeah. In fact, the kids are probably going to bring some YouTube challenges or something.
Oh yeah. YouTube challenges.
I drew the line at the throwing whipped cream at us because it's in my lounge room.
But how well do you know me? If you don't quite know me well enough, you get whipped cream in your face. She's like, let's do that one.
That's pretty hardcore. I hope I want that one. I think we go for. I did say she could put face paint on us or something.
Yeah.
Every time we get the answers wrong or something. I don't know. Well, I think it's going to be super fun. Come and hang out with us. Okay, that's it for today, lovelies. Thank you so much for being part of the series. We hope that we gave you a ton of value. We would love to hear if you implement stuff, how it works for you. If you want to go deeper, Mother Rising Sisterhood, doors closed Tuesday, and we are going to, this was like random spontaneous teaching series of ours where we just gave a couple little tidbits. Like, I'm not joking, we have so much to share.
Yeah, we have some deep dive workshops. We want to go really deep and broad in Mother Rising.
Yeah, so if you love this series, then you're going to really adore Mother Rising Sisterhood in big ways because it's so much more awesome. I think that's it, though.
Yes.
Happy Easter, everyone. See you. We are going to be live tomorrow teaching something cool.
Self-love.
Self-love. Because, you know,
such an important topic.
Self-love is the most powerful transformational tool out there that's going to transform you, your children, your relationships, freaking everything. And we're going to give you the lowdown on it tomorrow. Okay. Have an awesome Easter.